Erev Tov and good evening, everyone. We are doing the Zera Shimshon on Parshas Lech Lecha, and we're going to start with Os Dalid, section number 4. And in order to understand this piece, we need to take a look at the first 3 psukim in the Parsha. So here we are in Parshas Lech Lecha, Perek Yud Beis in Sefer Bereshis, Pasuk Aleph. Vayomer Hashem el Avram, and Hashem said to Avram, Lech Lecha, go for yourself, me'artzecha u'mimoladetecha u'mibeis avicha, from your land and from your birthplace and from your father's house, el haaretz asher areka, to the land that I will show you. Pasuk Beis, ve'ezcha legoy gadol, and I will make you into a great nation, va'avarechecha, and I will bless you, va'agad lo shemecha, and I will make your name great. V'hayei baracha, and you will be a blessing. Pasuk Gimel, va'avarcha mivarchecha, and I will bless those who bless you. U'mekalelcha or, and those who curse you, I will curse. V'nivrachu v'cha kol mishpachos ha'adama, and there will be blessed through you all of the families of the earth. So these are the first 3 psukim. Of course, Hashem is giving the command for Avram to go to what will later be identified as Eretz Canaan, which we call Eretz Yisrael. And Hashem talks about blessing Avram and making his name and his reputation great, etc. So let's take a look. Rashi is going, Zera Shimshon is going to start with the first Rashi on the Parsha. Pirish Rashi. Rashi explains, Lech lecha, go for yourself. This word lecha, for yourself, means lehana'ascha uletovascha v'chule, for your benefit and for your good. So according to Rashi, Hashem is telling Avram, this is not just a mitzvah of something I want you to do, but it's also something that will bring benefit to you. Vekan, and here where you are now, and Avram at that time was located in a city called Haran, you will not merit to have children, v'chule, etc. So according to Rashi, Hashem told Avram, amongst other things, that if he stayed where he was, then he would not have children. And by traveling to Eretz Canaan, he would merit to have children, and not only that, to become a great nation. Mashma, this implies, Mashma mi Perusho, the implication of Rashi's commentary is, She'im hayamis akev kan, if he would have remained where he was located then, lo yeh lo bonim klal, he would not have had children at all. Va'achar kach pirish Rashi, and after this first Rashi, Rashi explains on the second pasuk, Lefi shehaderech goremes, since the long journey would cause v'chule, etc., and we'll talk about what got skipped over here. Mametes puria v'rivia, there will be a decrease in being fruitful and multiplying, meaning you'll have a hard time. It will be hard for you to procreate, to have children, because of the long journey, the burdens of a long journey. And therefore Hashem promised him, v'chule, etc., al habonim, about having children, v'chule, etc. So before we continue with the Zera Shimshon's comments, because he paraphrased the Rashi, let's just talk about what Rashi actually says in full. Rashi says that when a person takes a long journey, there are 3 things that are decreased or that become problematic. Number 1 is the ability to have children. It's easier and more conducive to have children if a person is in a settled state at home and everything's comfortable and there are no problems. Than if they're on a long, difficult, arduous journey, then it becomes much more difficult to have children. Number 2, in terms of making a living, it's much easier again if a person is settled and is in their place and there other people know them and trust them, as opposed to while you're traveling, it's much harder to make a living. And third, a person's reputation suffers when they travel because they're going to go to places where no one knows them, as opposed to when they were home in their place, they had a reputation, everyone knew them and trusted them, and their reputation was, of course, stronger and they were more well known. So Rashi says it is specifically those three things that are threatened and endangered by a long, arduous journey that Hashem promised Avram and said to him, I will make you a great nation, which means ultimately, even though you're taking this journey, you will be able to have children and you'll become a great nation. In addition to that, I will bless you, meaning I will bless you financially. You'll be blessed with great financial wealth and prosperity. And third, I will make your name great, meaning even though you're traveling to places and you'll start over from scratch where no one knows you, you will develop a great reputation, and this will enable you to spread the word of Hashem, to spread the ideas of monotheism, which is what Avram's goal was with his life. That was his main life's goal. So according to Rashi, Hashem said to him, the three things that are put in jeopardy by a long journey, I will bless you, Hashem says to Avram, in order that you'll have great success in those three areas. The mashma, now the Zera Shimshon says, wait a minute, this implies she'im haya misakev kan, if Avram had stayed in his location where he was, yilo banim, he actually would have had children. The rak lefisha haderech goremes, and it was only because of the long, arduous journey that Hashem had to promise him you'll have children. Sorach sheyavtichuhu, that Hashem needed to give him a special assurance. The nimtzeu divrei Rashi sisrei ahadadi, and we find that the two comments by Rashi appear to contradict each other. Kach hikshu hameforshim. This is the question that is asked by. So let's make sure we understand the question. Right smack at the beginning of our Parsha, Parshas Lech Lecha, Rashi makes two comments. One, the first comment on Pasuk Aleph, and the second comment on Pasuk Beis. In his first comment, Rashi says that Hashem told Avram, if you stay here where you are, you're not going to merit to have children. Go to Eretz Yisrael, and this will be a benefit to you. Lech Lecha, it will be for your benefit, because then you will be able to have children. The clear implication, as the Zera Shimshon said from that Rashi, is that he couldn't have children where he was, and that was a problem. And the solution was to go to Eretz Yisrael, where he would be blessed with children. Okay, that would be fine by itself. But then on Pasuk Beis, Rashi says the long, arduous journey that Avram was about to take would make it hard for him to have children. So Hashem assured him, don't worry, even though you're going to undertake this long, arduous journey, ultimately you will be blessed with children and become a great nation. Here, the implication is that there was no problem with Avram having children where he was. It was the fact that he was about to take this long journey that was going to create a problem. So in a way, what the Zera Shimshon is saying to Rashi is you can't have it both ways, but Rashi seems to say both things, and that's a problem. And the Zera Shimshon, of course, wants to explain why Rashi made these two apparently contradictory statements. Let's continue to the second paragraph. Venir elitaretz, and we can explain or answer this question with what the Gemara says in the first parak of Maseches Rosh Hashanah. And here's a quote from that Gemara. Arba devarim mekarim gazardino shel adam. Four things can tear up a negative ruling against a person. Meaning, if from Shamayim there was a negative ruling, chas v'shalom, against the person, there are four things the person can do that can nullify that. The Zera Shimshon assumes we know that Gemara, and so he doesn't list what the four things are. But just in case we don't, and I didn't, I'll tell you what the four things are. So the Gemara says that the four things are tzedakah, giving charity; Se'aka, crying out, calling out to Hashem; Shinoi Hashem, a person changing one's name, actually changing your name so that making the statement, I want to be a complete Baal Tshuva, I want to be a whole new person, and so I'm going to change my name. And Shinoi Maisa, and changing one's actions, which according to some Mefarshim on the Gemara, that doesn't just mean changing your bad actions, but it means kind of changing everything that you're doing, changing your entire way of operating so that you show Hashem again, you want to be a whole new person, and you want to make sure that you're not just changing your Averas, but any activity or things that you were involved in that might have even led to Averas, you're going to change those as well. Those are the four things that can change a negative ruling or verdict from Shamayim against the person. The Yesh Omrim, and some people say, Af Shinoi Makom, even changing your place, changing where you live, moving from one place to another place, relocating, in other words, can nullify a negative verdict against you from Shemayim. Shenemar, as it says right here, Lech Lecha. Hashem told Avram to go and leave his land. V'hadar, and afterwards, ve'escha legoy gadol. Hashem said, I will make you, once you leave your place and go to a new place, I will make you into a great nation. So according to this Yesh Omrim, which we're going to refer to as the second opinion in the Gemara, it's not just the four things that we mentioned before. Is a fifth thing, which is changing your place, and he's got a good proof from what happened right here with Avram. By Avram changing his place, Hashem said he would merit to have children. Ve'idach, now the Gemara continues and it says, Ve'idach, and according to the other opinion, meaning the first opinion, who listed only four things and did not include Shinoi Makam, how does that person understand Lech Lecha and what happened with Avram Avinu, where it seemed like changing his place helped him have children? So the Gemara says, Hahu zechusa de Eretz Yisrael, hu de ahan yeleh. In Avram's case, it was the specific merit of going to Eretz Yisrael and being in Eretz Yisrael that helped him have children. It was not the fact that he changed his location from one place to another place, meaning, had he always been in Eretz Yisrael, then it would be the schus of being in Eretz Yisrael that would have helped him have children. It was not the fact that he changed his location. And according to this view, which is the first view in the Gemara, that there are only four things, not five things, and Shinoi Makam doesn't count. According to that view, Avram could have changed his location from place to place to place all over the world, and until he came to Eretz Yisrael, it would not have helped him have children. The key operative thing was being in Eretz Yisrael, according to this opinion, not the change of location. But according to again, that's the first opinion in the Gemara. If we want to put a name to that, that is Rebbe Yitzchak's view in the Gemara there in Rosh Hashanah. According to the second opinion, which the Gemara says is just a Yesh Omrim, we don't know, we don't have a name attached to it, then it is changing from place to place. And Avram hypothetically could have left Haran and gone to another location without going to Eretz Yisrael and might have been blessed with children because of the Shinoi Makam, the relocation and the change of place to place. Ad kan Lashono, up until here, is a quote from the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah. So let's see what the Zer Shimshon says about that. Va'af anu nomar, and we can say, shelefi ha'emes, that in reality, im haya Avraham Isakev kan, if Avraham would have stayed where he was located in Haran, lo haya lo bonim, bezeh hamakom, shehaya omed achshav. He would not have had children in the place where he then was. Omnam, however, he could have changed his place and gone to a place that was close by. Just leave Haran and go to another town, not too far away at all. Without so much of an arduous journey, like to take the incredibly long, difficult trip to Eretz Yisrael. Shahaderach Goremis, in which case that long trip could cause there to be a problem for him in terms of procreation and the other two things that we mentioned in the beginning. And that's why Hashem needed to make a guarantee or a promise to him about having children. Leman de Omar, according to that second opinion in the Gemara, the Shinoi Makom Moil, that changing your place can be effective to nullify a decree. So let's pause here because because the Zer Shimshon has now laid out one of the 2 points that he wants to make to help us really understand where Rashi's coming from. Basically, what he's saying is that the reason Rashi gives two comments which seem to contradict is because Rashi wants to cover both opinions in the Gemara about Shinoi Makom. So now what Rashi just said is that according to the opinion, which we call the Yesh Omrim, or the second opinion in that Gemara, that if you change from one location to another location and you relocate, that by itself is sufficient to nullify a negative decree against you from Shemayim. So then Hashem was saying to Abraham, all you need to do is to leave your place and go to another place. and you could merit to have children because of that shinoi makam. However, since I, Hashem, am commanding you to take a long, arduous journey, not to a nearby town, but to a far, far away location, again, Eretz Canaan, Eretz Yisrael, because I'm commanding you to go there specifically, I want to assure you that even though on such a long journey, it usually makes it very hard for a person to have children. It's a detriment. It's an obstacle to having children. I'm going to assure you that you will be able to have children even after this long trip and this arduous journey. So that's what the one comment of Rashi was focused on. It was focused on the second opinion in the Gemara. Let's continue. Aval mikol makom yesh lomar sheshinoi makom eino moil klal kisvaras Tanakama. However, we have to keep in mind that there's another opinion, which was the first opinion in the Gemara, the opinion of Rabbi Yitzchak, that changing your place is not effective at all. Shinoi makom is not listed amongst the 4 things that can nullify a decree, an evil decree, a negative decree against the person. And Shinoi makom is not going to help at all. And therefore, Amalo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem said to Avram, Af in tishne tishane mekomcha, even if you change your place. The telech l'makom acher, and you go to another place, meaning you move around without going to Eretz Yisrael. Einata yodea bevadai she'ashinoi makom mo'elecha. There's no way to know for sure that this changing of location will be effective for you, right? Hashem is saying to him, it's not clear because we have this opinion in the Gemara that shinoi makom doesn't help. What you need, Hashem says, is the merit of a special place, the Hainu Shetelech LeEretz Yisrael, which is that you should travel specifically to Eretz Yisrael. And there you will, that zechus of being in Eretz Yisrael will help you have a child. Shekos of Rashi, and that's why Rashi made his first comment where he said, V'kan iyata zoche lebanim. And if you stay here, meaning if you stay where you are in Haran and you don't travel to Eretz Yisrael, you will not merit having children. You will not have the special zechus of Eretz Yisrael to help you have children, which is what you need. Dafka zoche, and Rashi specifically used the word zoche, merit, to hint to us that that's what he was referring to, the zechus of Eretz Yisrael. So that statement in Rashi, that comment in Rashi was focused on the first opinion in the Gemara that shinoi makom, in the change of location, doesn't help a person. And so what would help Abraham? Only dafka going to Eretz Yisrael to get the zechus of living in Eretz Yisrael. And that's what Hashem meant when he said, Lech lecha, travel for your benefit, because here in Haran and actually anywhere outside of Israel, you will not merit to have children. Only if you can get the zechus of living in Eretz Yisrael will you merit to have children. So what we see, what the Zer Shimshon has done for us is he's taken 2 comments in Rashi from the beginning of our Parsha, Lech Lecha. He showed us something we might not have noticed. Most people don't notice it. It's easy to pass right by it, that the 2 comments seem to contradict each other. And he's explained to us that there's no contradiction at all because Rashi had in mind the 2 opinions in the Gemara and Rosh Hashanah, and he wanted to explain these psukim according to both opinions, and therefore one comment he gave helped us understand the psukim and what Hashem was saying to Avram according to one opinion in the Gemara, and then his second comment explained what Hashem was saying to Avram according to the second opinion in the Gemara. So both views are covered, and that's now we understand where Rashi's comments were coming from and what they were trying to accomplish. Now we're going to move to another section, section Zion. So let's go there. Okay, Os Zion, section 7, and we're going to begin. Before we begin this section, I want to read a few psukim, actually not from Parshas Lech Lecha, because Rashi is going to focus on the Birchas Kohanim, the psukim that have to do, that we find in Parshas Naso, that have to do with the special blessings that the Kohanim give to Bnei Yisrael. And I'm going to read those psukim because even though they're very familiar to us, the last pasuk in the set is that is not part of the Birchas Kohanim is one that's we might not be as familiar with. So let's take a look at those psukim before we start. This again is Parshas Naso, Perek Vav, and Sefer Bamidbar, pasuk Chaf Beis. Vayadaber Hashem el Moshe Lemor. Hashem spoke to Moshe, saying, Daber el Aaron ve'elbonav Lemor. Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, Kol sevarchu es b'nei Yisrael. So this is how you, the Kohanim, should bless Bnei Yisrael. Amor lahem, you should say to them. And now we have the actual text from the Torah of the Birchas Kohanim. Yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Hashem panav elecha v'yichuneka, Yisa Hashem panav elecha v'yaseim lecha shalom. So those three psukim are the actual, what we call the Birchas Kohanim, the blessing that the Kohanim give to Bnei Yisrael. And now one wrap-up concluding pasuk that's not part of the blessing. V'samu eshmi al bnei Yisrael, and they, the Kohanim, will place my name on bnei Yisrael. That means when the Kohanim blessed in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, when they blessed the people every day, they would use the Shem HaMeforash. They would use the special name of Hashem to bless the people. So they'll use that name when they bless the people. Va'ani avarchem, and I will bless them. What we're going to see is a subject of contention or a machlokes is who is the pasuk referring to when it says, I will bless them? Hashem says, I will bless them. Does he mean I will bless the people when the Kohanim recite their Birchas Kohanim on the people, I will then bless the people? Or does Hashem mean once the Kohanim bless the people, I will then bless the Kohanim? And we're going to see that that is a machlokes with important ramifications. So let's take a look at the Zera Shimshon again, Oz Zion, and see what he has to say about this. Perek Gimel de Chulin, in the third parak of Maseches Chulin, the Gemara makes an unusual statement. Yishmael Kahana Messiah Kahane. This means that Rabbi Yishmael, the Kohen, who was a Kohen, he assists the Kohanim. What that means in the Gemara there is that some of the rulings and the statements by Rabbi Yishmael, who was a Kohen, assisted and supported and helped the Kohanim in general. So some of his rulings in halacha and his rulings in certain cases and his comments helped the Kohanim. And the Gemara gives an example, the Mokim law, lebirchas Kohanim, that he, Rabbi Yishmael, established the Birchas Kohanim, the bracha that the Kohanim receive, b'mokom bracha de Yisrael, in the same place as the bracha that the Kohanim give to Bnei Yisrael, which means that according to Rabbi Yishmael, when the Kohanim bless Bnei Yisrael, they themselves receive a special blessing from Hashem. And that view of Rabbi Yishmael is we're going to see, not be agreed to by everyone. And let's take a look at the Gemara that this all comes from. The Tanya, because it was taught in a Braisa, Kosev Varchu es B'nai Yisrael, the pasuk says, and we just saw this pasuk, so you should bless B'nai Yisrael. Lamadnu bracha liyisrael mipi kohanim. We just learned from this pasuk that Jewish people receive a blessing from the mouths of the Kohanim. LeKohanim atzmon lo lamadnu. But the fact that the Kohanim themselves are blessed, we don't learn in these psukim. We don't see clearly in these psukim that the Kohanim receive a bracha. So Rabbi Yishmael is saying, okay, the rest of Bnei Yisrael is being blessed by the Kohanim. But what about the Kohanim? Are they left out? Where do we see that they get blessed? Answer, Keshehu Omer, when the Torah concludes, Va'ani avarchem, and I, Hashem says, I will bless them, have a Omer, then that allows me to say, Kohanim mevarchen Yisrael, it's the Kohanim who bless Bnei Yisrael, Ve'HaKadosh Baruch Hu mevarech laKohanim, and Hashem blesses the Kohanim. So according to Rabbi Yishmael, the words, Va'ani avarchem, and I will bless them, means Hashem says, once the Kohanim bless the Jewish people, I will immediately bless the Kohanim. Okay? Rabbi Akiva Omer, Rabbi Akiva has a different viewpoint, and he says, HaKohanim mevarchem liyisrael. The Kohanim bless the Jewish people. VeHaKadosh Baruch Hu maskim al yadam, and Hashem then agrees to the blessing and makes it effective. HaKadosh Baruch Hu executes or enacts the blessing, Kedichsiv, as it's written, Va'ani avarchei, and I will bless them. Meaning, according to Rabbi Akiva, the words Va'ani avarcheim do not refer to Hashem blessing the Kohanim, they refer to Hashem blessing Bnei Yisrael. So Hashem is saying, Kohanim, here's what I want you to say and recite to bless the people, and when you make this recitation, I will bless the people. Okay, good. So we understand, according to Rabbi Akiva, the Kohanim bless the people and Hashem enacts the bracha. Okay, great. There's only one problem. Ubracha leKohanim minole. So how do we know that the Kohanim get blessed, right? Shouldn't the Kohanim also get a bracha? Gemara answers, Nafkale, he learns it out, Miva'avarcha mivarchecha. From right here in the beginning of Parshas Lech Lecha, where it says, where Hashem said to Avram, and I will bless those who bless you. Ad kan Lashono, until here is a quote from the Gemara in Maseches Chulin. So let's explain Rabbi Akiva's opinion, that in the section of Birchas Kohanim itself, according to Rabbi Akiva, there's no mention of the Kohanim receiving a blessing. So how do we know they do get blessed? So he says, well, we have a general rule that we see in Parshas Lech Lecha, that Hashem made a promise to Avram that whoever blesses him, and by extension, his offspring, his progeny, Bnei Yisrael, whoever blesses them will be blessed. So therefore we know that when the Kohanim get up and they bless Bnei Yisrael, they too will be blessed, because anyone who blesses Bnei Yisrael will be blessed. So we see that the source, and this is important, the source for how we know that the Kohanim who bless Bnei Yisrael are themselves then blessed is the subject of a machlokas between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yishmael holds that it's based on Va'ani Avarchem. Right there in the Birchas Kohanim, it says, I will bless them. And Rabbi Yishmael says that's referring to the Kohanim. Hashem will bless the Kohanim when they bless the people. According to Rabbi Akiva, no, the Kohanim do get blessed, but it's not based on anything over there in the Birchas Kohanim. The source is of Avarcha Mevarchecha from Parshas Lech Lecha, from our Parsha, where whoever blesses Avram or his children will in turn be blessed. So now let's see what the Zera Shimshon says about that. Yesh l'dakdek. We can ask a question here. Mahu siyuazeh, what is this assistance or support Rabbi Yishmael Messiah Kohanim that Rabbi Yishmael is giving to the Kohanim? Dema chiluk yesh lilmod bracha lekohanim, because what difference does it make if we learn that the bracha that comes, the blessing that comes to the Kohanim, mikra de va'ani avarchein, is from the pasuk of the words of I will bless them. Oh, which is Rabbi Yishmael's view. Oh, lilmod, or we learn it mikra from the words in the pasuk de va'avarcha mivarchecha. I will bless those that bless you, which is Rabbi Akiva's view. Meaning, the Zera Shimshon, if we step back for a moment, his fundamental question in this piece is, how come the Gemara in the third parak in Maseches Chulin makes a point of saying that Rabbi Yishmael, who was a Kohen, said many things that helped support the Kohanim, and gave as an example this argument between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva, where Rabbi Yishmael points to the words Va'ani Varchem and says that's the source for the fact that the Kohanim are blessed by Hashem. And Rabbi Akiva says that's not the source, it's different words from Parshas Lech Lecha. Zera Shimshon says, what difference does it make? How does that help the Kohanim? Either way, they're getting blessed by Hashem, that's all that matters. So what's the nafkamina as to what the source is and which pasuk that we use? So now the Zera Shimshon is going to answer that question. V'yesh lomar, and we can say, de mikra de va'avarcha mivarchecha, from the pasuk of I will bless those that bless you. Again, that's right here at the beginning of Parshas Lech Lecha, words that Hashem says to Abraham. Lo lamadnu, we don't learn Ella except she'im tiskayim osa habracha al chavero, that if a blessing is made on someone else, meaning if a person blesses a Jewish person, shetavo aflo hatova hahi, then that good thing that he blessed the other person with will come to him. Okay? So the Zera Shimshon wants to kind of do a deeper analysis, a deep dive into how the blessing works. And he says that when Hashem says, I will bless those that bless you, so whether or not someone blessed Abraham when he was alive, or someone blesses a Jewish person nowadays, or blesses the Jewish people as a whole, whatever the circumstances are, then the way it works is what the bracha that they're putting on Bnei Yisrael, putting on a Jewish person or the Jewish people as a whole, that the goodness in that bracha, the good result of that bracha will also come to the person making the bracha. Al derech hamispalel al chavero, and this works the same way as does something that we find in Maseches Bava Kama, where the Gemara says, and this is a well-known Gemara, a person who davens on his friend, v'hu tzarech la'oso dover, and he, the davener, needs the same thing that he's davening for his friend, hu ne'eneh techila, he will be answered by Hashem first. Meaning that according to that Gemara in Bava Kama, let's just make up an example. Let's say a person knows that his friend is struggling with a parnasa, with making a living, and he wants to daven for his friend. And it turns out that he also needs a parnasa. He also needs his help making a living. So when he davens for his friend and he says to Hashem, please help my friend make a living and have a good parnasa, then Hashem says, oh, you need the same thing, but instead of focusing only on yourself, you're focusing on your friend and you're davening for your friend. So I'm going to answer for you first, and I'm going to make sure you get a good parnasa, and then I'm going to help your friend. Klomar, this means to say, this Gemara in Bava Kama means to say, Dafka kishet tfilaso mekubeles afhu ne'eneh. Only in the case, specifically in the case where the tefillah for the other person is accepted by Hashem, then the davener is also answered for himself. Aval, but kisha hatfila al chavero eino mikubeles al chavero. But if he davens for his friend, and for some reason the Hashem decides not to accept and answer this prayer for the other person, af alav lotia mikubeles, then also for him, the davener, the prayer will not be accepted. Shelo tavulo oso hatov, that the good thing that he's davening for will not go to his friend or to him. Shaharei, because behold, ein lo rak kadima al chavero. All the Gemara said was that he would have precedence over his friend. The Gemara used the words hu nene. He will be answered techila first. The person who davened will be answered first if he has the same need. But the Zera Shimshon says that means that if Hashem accepts this man's tefillah for his friend, then and only then, it's conditional, only then will he be answered first, because he will have precedence. But if his friend, if Hashem says, I'm not going to accept the tefillah, and your friend who needs the parnasa, who you're davening for, is not at this time, for whatever reason Hashem decides, going to be blessed with their parnasa, then the davener will also not get a special blessing of parnasa. So it's conditional on the tefillah being accepted, on the person being davened for, in order for the davener to be accepted, to be assisted. And even though when someone davens for a friend and blesses a friend, yeshlo zechus, he has a merit. There's no doubt that that's a meritorious action. Sheyeshlo zechus osa mitzvah, that he's getting the merit for the mitzvah shel gemilas chasadim, of doing kindness, she'asa al chavero, which he did for his friend. So the Zera Shimshon says, don't misunderstand. Anytime a person davens for another person or blesses another person and tries to do what he can to help another person through davening and through blessing them, they get a zechus for that. That's a mitzvah for them. Mikol makom, nevertheless, schar mitzvos b'hai alma leka. Nevertheless, we hold, according to a Gemara in Kedushin, that we do not receive physical benefit from doing a mitzvah in this world. So the Zera Shimshon says, yes, you will receive a spiritual reward, but don't expect to receive a physical reward. For example, in the case that we talked about as an example, the parnasa. So if a person davens for another person, again, and Hashem says, okay, I'm going to answer the prayer and give that person parnasa, then the davener will also, if he needs parnasa, will also receive parnasa, and he'll receive it first. His prayers will be answered first. However, if you daven for another person and Hashem doesn't answer the prayer for the other person, then it also will not assist you, even though you get the zechus of doing a mitzvah and you did gemilas chasadim by blessing and praying for another person. You're not going to be, because of that specific action that you did, you're not going to get a benefit, a financial or parnasa benefit, which again would come had the tefillah for the other person been received. Now that is a very important kind of limiting idea on this idea of blessing other people and davening for other people. And specifically, the Zera Shimshon is saying, this is how we must understand the words, V'avarcha mevarchecha. When Hashem says, I will bless those that bless you, Hashem, according to the Zera Shimshon, is saying, those people who bless the Jews, if I answer their blessing, if I enact their blessing, if I choose to do that, then they will be blessed. However, if I choose not to enact their blessing for whatever reason that Hashem might have, then they also, the blessers, The people being blessed will not be blessed, and the people blessing will not be blessed. That's a major important point. And let's continue. The Zer Shimshon is going to support that idea. Va'al karchenu lefarish came. And we are compelled to explain things this way, meaning the Zer Shimshon knows that you might say, well, that's not Pashup Pshat in the Pasuk. The Pasuk simply said two words: I will bless those that bless you, period. No qualifications, no limitations. So the Zer Shimshon says, okay, that might be true in the Pashup Pshat, but al karchenu lefarish came. We have to explain things this way. Shaharei va'avarcha mevarchecha, because on the words, and I will bless those that bless you, Amru, the Chazal said, Sha'afilu goy sheberech es Yisrael, misparech, even if a non-Jew blesses a Jewish person, that non-Jew will be blessed. V'chitisa kadatin shahagoy yisparech v'lo ha-Yisrael, and would we ever think that a case could exist where Hashem says, I'm going to bless the non-Jewish person, but I'm not going to bless the Jewish person? That wouldn't seem to make sense. But for sure, we have to say that what God intended to say with the words "Va'avarcha mevarchecha," I will bless those that bless you, is kishahabrocha shel hagoy toel Yisrael. If a non-Jew blesses a Jew, and Hashem accepts that blessing, and it's effective to help the Jew, as yisparech afilu hagoy, then even this non-Jew will be blessed as well. V'yesh lanu, or continue on to the next column, V'yesh lanu remez lepirish hazeh, and we actually have a hint in the Torah to this explanation, midesamich va'avarcha mevarchecha eitzel v'hayeh baracha. From the fact that the Torah put the words, I will bless those that bless you, right after the words that Hashem said to Avram, and you will be a blessing. Klomar, this means to say, Kishetiyeh habracha al hamisparech, when there will be a blessing on the person who was blessed, az va'avarcha mevarchecha, then and only then will I bless the person who gave the blessing. So the Zer Shimshon says there's a little remez, a little hint, because it said, Hayeh bracha, when there's, and you will be a bracha, meaning when you will be blessed, then the next two words apply, that I will bless the ones who bless you. Now the Zer Shimshon is going to tie it all back together to explain and answer his original question. Ve'im kain, and if so, meaning if this the Zer Shimshon just laid out for us is true, and he believes definitely passionately that it's true, Rabbi Akiva, according to Rabbi Akiva, she'anu lomdim habracha lekohanim mivavarcha mivarchecha. According to Rabbi Akiva, who says that the source for the Kohanim being blessed is from the specific words in Parshas Lech Lecha, where Hashem says, "I will bless those who bless you." Im lo tiskayim habracha shel hakohanim al Yisrael. If in some certain situations the bracha that the Kohanim recite over Bnei Yisrael is not accepted by Hashem, Gam HaKohanim lo yisbarchu, then the Kohanim themselves will not be blessed. So according to Rabbi Akiva, the use of the source that he chose is a tremendous limiting factor on the Kohanim, because it means in effect that Hashem is saying to the Kohanim, bless the Jewish people. If your blessing is accepted on the Jewish people, as hopefully it will be, then I will bless you, because according to the Pasuk, those that bless the Jewish people will be blessed. However, if for various reasons Hashem decides, no, the Jewish people don't merit these blessings to take effect, then you, Kohanim, will also not be blessed, because that's how Avarcha Mevarchecha works. It's dependent, it's contingent, it's conditional, and it won't apply in some cases, according to Rabbi Akiva. Aval Rabbi Yishmael, but according to Rabbi Yishmael, the nafkale miva'ani avarchem, he learned out that the Kohanim would be blessed from the words, I will bless them, right in the Birchas Kohanim. Takef shebarchu heim es Yisrael. Immediately when the Kohanim recite the blessing on the Jewish people, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mevarcham leKohanim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu blesses the Kohanim. Bein tiskayim birchasam al Yisrael, bein lo tiskayim. Whether or not ultimately their bracha that the Kohanim gave to Israel takes effect or doesn't take effect. Either way, the Kohanim are going to be blessed immediately. It's not conditional. It's not contingent. Therefore, V'zehu Yishmael Kahana Messiah Kahana. And this is what the Gemara meant when it says that Rabbi Yishmael, the Kohen, says things that help and support the Kohanim. Now we understand, and we can pause for a moment to recap. Now we understand. The Gemara said Rabbi Yishmael's rulings and statements helped the Kohanim, and then it gave an example which at face value, the Zera Shimshon said, didn't seem to mean much at all. Didn't seem that Rabbi Yishmael was giving the Kohanim any kind of boost or support whatsoever, because Rabbi Yishmael said Hashem is going to bless the Kohanim, and Rabbi Akiva, who was arguing with him, also said and agreed 100%, yes, Hashem will bless the Kohanim. The only difference was they proved their point, or they brought a source from two different psukim as to how we know Hashem would bless the Kohanim. And at that point, when we learned it, and like anyone who would learn that Gemara, they would say, okay, it doesn't really make a difference what source we learn it from. So the Zera Shimshon, by analyzing how these blessings operated, showed us and demonstrated to us that there was a huge difference between the viewpoint of Rabbi Akiva and the viewpoint of Rabbi Yishmael. According to Rabbi Akiva, the blessing, and when Hashem says, I will bless those that bless you, is conditional. If Hashem accepts the blessing, again, we hope he always will, if Hashem accepts the blessing that's being made on the Jewish people or on an individual Jewish person, then, and only then, will the blesser be blessed. However, if Hashem chooses not to enact and put into effect the blessing that's being recited on the Jewish people or a Jewish individual, then the blesser will not receive a blessing. That's a major limiting factor. According to Rabbi Yishmael, however, who bases his source, uses the source of Va'ani Avarchem inside the Birchos Kohanim, it's immediate, it's automatic. The Kohanim will always be blessed whenever they bless the Jewish people. There's no condition, there's no contingency, and so that is a tremendously better situation that helps support the Kohanim than the other school of thought presented by Rabbi Akiva. Okay, now, the Zera Shimshon, as he often does, says, okay, that was good, but I don't want to stop there. I want to go further, because there's a Tosfos that makes a comment which we need to look at, and we need to understand how that changes things a little bit. And the Zera Shimshon is going to do that now in the next paragraph. Inami, also, b'derech acher, we could explain things in a little bit of a different way. Shekasu atosos sham, Tosfos over there in the Gemara in Maseches Chulin, writes, Ula Rabbi Yishmael lo itzterich kra lahachi. Rabbi Yishmael did not need a pasuk to say that God would bless the Jewish people once the Kohanim blessed them. The pshita, because that's obvious to maskim that Hashem agrees to the blessing that the Kohanim recite. Kivon shetziva lehem levarich, since Hashem is the one who commanded the Kohanim to give the bracha. Ad kan lashono, until here is a quote from Tosfos. So let's pause for a second to understand Tosfos' statement. The words, as we stated all the way back in the beginning when we looked at the psukim of the Birchas Kohanim, the words Va'ani Avarchem, those two words, right after the Kohanim bless the people, it says, V'samu eshmi al b'nei Yisrael, the Kohanim will put my name on the Jewish people, Va'ani Avarchem, and I will bless them. Right off the bat, we said, who's the them? Who is it that Hashem is saying he will bless? According to Rabbi Akiva, he's saying he will bless the Jewish people. He will enact the blessing of the Kohanim and himself bless the Jewish people. According to Rabbi Yishmael, that's obvious that that's going to happen. And Va'ani Avarchem really means I will bless the Kohanim, because we don't need a pasuk to say I will bless the Jewish people. That's obvious since Hashem commanded the Kohanim to bless the Jewish people. So Hashem must want that bracha to be effective. That's Tosfos' point. Nimtza, we find Lafi zeh diyesh machlokas acher bein Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. According to this Tosfos, there's another aspect to the argument between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. Be'im HaKadosh Baruch Hu maskin. It has to do with whether or not Hashem automatically agrees and supports the blessing of the Kohanim. Rabbi Yishmael pshitale. According to Rabbi Yishmael, this is obvious that this would happen automatically, that Hashem automatically enacts the bracha of the Kohanim because he wants it to take effect. Umishum hachi, and because Rabbi Yishmael thinks that that's obvious, iyasar lekra, he views as extra the words of Deva'ani Avarchem, I will bless them, meaning the words I will bless them don't mean Hashem, do not mean according to Rabbi Yishmael, I'll bless the Jewish people. That's obvious. So it must mean something else. What is it? What additional blessing could Hashem be talking about besides blessing the Jewish people? Blessing the Kohanim. That's Rabbi Yishmael's viewpoint, as we know and as we've seen established before. Ula Rabbi Akiva, but according to Rabbi Akiva, Mesafkale, he was in doubt about this, meaning, according to Rabbi Akiva, we cannot take for granted and say it's automatic that every time the Kohanim recite the Birchos Kohanim, Hashem is going to enact that bracha and bless the Jewish people. That's not automatic. We can't take that for granted. And therefore, we need Hashem to say, Va'ani avarchem, once the Kohanim bless the Jewish people, then I will bless the Jewish people. Uva Medrash, and in the Medrash Rabbah, Al pasuk kosavarchu es b'nei Yisrael, on the pasuk that we looked at where it says, so you, the Kohanim, should bless b'nei Yisrael. Omru, the Medrash makes the following comment. Omru Yisrael lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Jewish people said to Hashem, Ata omer lekohanim shar yavarchu osanu. You are telling the Kohanim that they should bless us. Ein anu tzrichim ela lebirchosecha. We do not need any blessing except your blessing. The Jewish people said, we don't really want the Kohanim to bless us. That's not ideal. We want you to bless us. And we wish to be blessed from your mouth. Amar lehem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Hashem responded to Bnei Yisrael, Afal pi she'amarti lekohanim sheyu mevarchem eschem. Even though I did in fact tell the Kohanim to bless you, Ani imohem ani omeid, I will stand with them, umevarech eschem, and I will bless you. Ad kan lashono, until here's a quote from the Medrash Rabbah. So the Zera Shimshon wants us to see that Rabbi Akiva's viewpoint comes out of this opinion rooted in the Medrash, in the Midrashim, in the Medrash Rabbah in this case, which is that there was a real doubt as to the effectiveness of the Birchas Kohanim. The Jewish people said, we don't really want a bracha from the Kohanim. We would rather get a bracha directly from you. And Hashem said, assured them and said, no, when the Kohanim bless you, ani avarchem, I will bless you as well. You won't just get a blessing from the Kohanim, you'll get a blessing, a bracha from me, Hashem. That was Hashem's way of reassuring the Jewish people, again, according to the viewpoint of Rabbi Akiva, which is expressed in this comment by the Medrash. Umeata, and from now that we see this, im anu meforshim va'ani avarchem kaRabbi Akiva, if we were to explain the words, I will bless them according to Rabbi Akiva, the itzterich kra lemeimar va'ani avarchem liYisrael, who holds that we need a special pasuk, a special phrase in the pasuk to say that God will bless the Jewish people, meaning it's not automatic. God has to say that he will support the blessing of the Kohanim. Ein zeh shevach. This is not a praise for the Kohanim. El agrius laKohanim. This is saying something negative about the Kohanim. Why? Shaharei lefi das haMedrash, because according to this Medrash, which again is along the lines with the viewpoint of Rabbi Akiva, Yisrael einam choshvim birchasim shel Kohanim leklum. The Jewish people did not give much significance to the blessing from the Kohanim, right? Remember, they said, we don't want the blessing from the Kohanim, we want the blessing from you, Hashem. However, if we follow the viewpoint of Rabbi Yishmael, the va'ani avarchem laKohanim, that the words I will bless them is going on the Kohanim. It's not going on Bnei Yisrael, it's going on the Kohanim. In Cain, if so, Birchas Kohanim chashuva me'od al Yisrael. According to that viewpoint, the blessing that the Kohanim give is extremely valuable, significant, and important to the Jewish people. Ubevadai she'HaKadosh Baruch Hu yaskin, because we know for sure and we take it for granted that it's automatic that when the Kohanim bless the people, Hashem supports that blessing and makes that blessing take effect. The Yisrael einam misra'amim klum, and the Jews would not have anything to complain about al mashet tziva lekohanim levarcham, on the fact that Hashem told the Kohanim to bless them, because they know, according to Rabbi Yishmael, that if the Kohanim bless, if Hashem tells the Kohanim to bless them, and the Kohanim bless them, then of course, it's obvious that Hashem will enact that blessing and bless the people. Bezehu, in this, now, according to the Tosfos, kind of the little twist that Tosfos added, this is what it means, Yishmael Kahana, Messiah Kahana, that Yishmael the Kohen assisted the Kohanim, because by choosing to interpret the psukim the way he did, in opposition to the school of thought of Rebbe Akiva, also represented in the Medrash Rabbah, it means that the blessing from the Kohanim was always something that was valued and treasured by the Jewish people, because they knew that hand in hand with the blessing of the Kohanim came the blessing from Hashem, as opposed to the approach that said the Kohanim might bless the people, but still the people would want to be blessed directly from Hashem, and it was not automatic that those two things went hand in hand. So to recap just for a moment, the Zera Shimshon introduced us to a Gemara in Maseches Chulin, where it talked about Rabbi Yishmael, who was a Kohen helping the Kohanim. He analyzed the case that the Gemara brought up and had really kind of a question as to understand how Rabbi Yishmael was helping, and he gave two answers to the question. The first was according to the original pshat in the Gemara, and he showed us how Rabbi Yishmael's viewpoint supported the Kohanim, because it meant that they would be blessed automatically. It would not be contingent upon anything else. As soon as they bless the Jewish people, the Kohanim will be blessed, which was not the view of Rabbi Akiva. And then the Zera Shimshon brought in Tosfos and said there's an added point to see according to Tosfos, which is that according to Rabbi Yishmael, the Jewish people always cherish the blessing of the idea of being blessed by the Kohanim, whereas according to Rabbi Akiva, they did not feel that way, and they really were unsure and hesitant and ambivalent about the blessing from the Kohanim until Hashem reassured them that he would also bless them, which they felt they couldn't take for granted. So we see two different ways that Rabbi Yishmael the Kohen assisted and supported the Kohanim in his viewpoints and in his views. Yasher Koach, I look forward, Hashem, God willing, to learning with everyone again next week.